Early this week, my family piled in the minivan to go to one of the greatest places on earth, Arby's. Well, at least my 2.5-year-old daughter, Karis, thinks that anyway. She thinks that because she knows that when we go to Arby's, she's going to get a toy in her kids' meal. Well, this last time the toy was actually a joke book. Now, I think that my daughter is a little more intelligent than your average 2.5-year-old. I'm kind of biased. But she still definitely can't read yet. But that didn't stop her from attempting to play with her new joke book. All the way home, what she did was she had the book kind of turned upside down, and she was pretending to read the jokes that were in it. And so finally I said, "Hey, Karis, can you tell me a joke?" And without hesitating, she said, "Hey, Dad, if a fish walks into your room, you'll be laughing for 100 years. To which I almost drove off the road. I was laughing so hard. You know, I was so enthralled with the fact that she actually made a sincere attempt to tell me a joke that I didn't even really notice that she didn't tell the joke the right way. You know, this shed a lot of light for me on what Jesus meant when he said, unless you change and become like little children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. See, God is a lot more concerned about the sincerity of our attempts at obedience to him than what those attempts actually look like outwardly. Today, God is looking at your heart. 1 Samuel 16:7 says it this way. Human beings, look at only at outward things. God doesn't look at the things that man looks at. Man looks at outward things, but God looks at our hearts. You see, today, God is looking at the sincerity and the motives of your heart. Your heavenly Father is far more concerned with how your response is to the love that he's shown you than what that response actually looks like outwardly. So I want to encourage those of you today that are in a spot where you know what Jesus has done for you and you want to respond to that. I want to encourage you to just go for it. Go for it. Whatever is going on in there and you want to express that love back to your Father, go for it and fall on your face and mess up and get up and go for it again. And know that your Father is pleased because he sees the sincerity of your heart. He sees the motive of your heart. Because you know what you get when you start having a bunch of people that are motivated by Jesus' love for them doing that together? You get the church. You see, and then we get to invite people to join us in experiencing the grace that Jesus offers us in that. That's what the church is supposed to be all about. I want you to know today that God is looking far more at the sincerity of your heart than he is at your outward performance. I hope you're thinking about that this week. I'll see you back here next week.